All right, y'all. It's time to turn those notifications back on. It's ULG De La Ray,
ULG,
and ULGJ. Welcome back to the group chat.
Yes, y'all. It's been a busy week. It's been a lot of stuff going on this week, y'all. I'm not even gonna get into Tyra. I'm not gonna even get into my good sis. Okay, we're gonna let her marinate until y'all watch it.
Kelsey messaged me this morning after she finished it, and she said, "You know what? Maybe unpopular opinion, but justice for Tyra."
I don't know about justice, just pushing it, but I do think it's a lot of blame dumping, and it should be spread out. A lot of people need to take accountability for a lot of shit. If they go down that route of people need to own up to what they was doing, they all need to own up to it. But I'm gonna let you finish. You need to watch the doc, and then I want to see how you feel after you see it. I knew some of the lore already because I follow some of the contestants before all this even happened, and before Gen Z got a hold of it, they were talking about their issues with Tyra and stuff before all this got real popular anyway. So I already knew a little bit. I just didn't know all of it. But yeah. I was listening to the read the other day, and Crystal called Stefan Diggs Offset 2.0. Is that not the next version? I'm just trying to prove my point that he is still an upgrade from Offset. I'm just saying.
I agree. I do.
2.0, you had to go in there and do an update. That's an upgrade update.
So he's a sophisticated fuckboy.
Yeah. Then it said she just rearranged the letters and got Stefan. And I was like, well, damn.
But also, they broke up because he got his other baby mama better tickets at the football game. Was that accurate?
I don't think that part is accurate. What I got from it was Stefan's supposed, allegedly, because I need to start saying that, allegedly, one of his best friends that's a female is one of the girls that Offset kept cheating with. So not only was she at the game, she was near his mom. And then what I read was that Stefan talked to Cardi and basically was like, obviously, he wants all his kids at the Super Bowl. He's playing at the Super Bowl. But he had got tickets for, it's Keisha from Keisha, Do You Love Me? Is that girl. That's who the baby mama is. And she brought the son, but I guess she was supposed to give the son to Stefan's mama to bring and not be there, but she ended up being there and she was sitting with the family, like where the family's supposed to sit. So I think Cardi got wind of that and was like, yeah, I'm over it at this point. Like, I was letting you slide till you did that. Because y'all remember on Christmas, he was with Keisha and that baby, posting pictures, and she was just with the baby at her house.
I wish any of that made sense because I still don't get it.
Well, basically, I saw somebody say that Keisha is like his real girlfriend and Cardi is just for publicity. And they've been getting into it, I guess.
Do you think that she didn't know that she was the side chick?
No, I think she definitely thought she was main chick. And then when she realized, like, oh, this nigga's playing in my face. Bye. Because I really don't think it was that deep. Like, I know they have a kid. Like, it obviously is that they procreated. But, like, in the scheme of things, to Cardi B, it was like, I don't need a nigga. You here because I chose for you to be here, especially with all these other baby mamas. And then you lost the Super Bowl and you in the middle of this court case. How many fucking slides am I supposed to give you, my nigga? You disrespected me, brought this bitch to the game. She's sitting there right next to your mama, so I'm supposed to be kikiing with her and mama. I'm not Nick Cannon, bitch. I'm Mariah Carey. Keep that shit away from me. Separate. That ain't got shit to do with me. And I think that's her boundary. Everybody was talking about Offset cheats and Stefan cheats and he had all these kids. I think Cardi set a boundary. The nigga stepped over it and she said, good luck on the game. Have a good day.
And we love when women stand on business.
Thank you. I was just about to say, and that is how you stand on business.
And stand on business the first time. Because I don't know if y'all have been watching Love is Blind. They've completely lost the plot. But I think in this season 10, they're leaning into having lost the plot. So it's been hella juicy. So there is a love triangle. Well, in the first 6 episodes, there was a love triangle. And it's black people.
Where? What city?
Columbus.
Oh, okay.
Is that where Bow Wow's from? I'm going to look it up. Go ahead.
So Kev Van is at the center of this love triangle. And then there's a girl named Kia and a girl named Tyler. Kev Van says that he's really feeling Tyler and like all of the edits, I will say. Do you have an update for us? Is he from?
Yes, he is. I was gonna let you continue, but yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
is. I was in love with him, so back in the day.
I think we all were. He was so cute, and I just don't know what happened. Yeah.
Anyway,
So Kevin was really feeling Tyler, or all the edits made it seem like he was really feeling Tyler. He talks to Tyler, basically tells Tyler, like, it's you and me, right? Then goes and has a conversation with Kia where Tyler is under the impression that he is cutting it off with Kia, but then he gets in the pods with Kia and Kia starts talking about whatever she's talking about. And he's like, oh, shit. Like, he's not saying this, but like you can tell in his energy and body language, he's not cutting shit off with Kia. Kevin comes back to Tyler like, I really enjoy you. And I also really enjoy Kia. And Tyler says, I'm going to stop you right there. You're not choosing me. So I'm going to get my shit and I'm gone. The producers stop her on like her exit confessional and is like, but isn't this what you said that you always do? Didn't you say you always run when you feel like you're not being chosen? And I was like, see, that's grimy. That is so fucking grimy because she knew in her gut that that man was playing games. And then y'all made her question herself and then had her go back into the pod with that man and have her looking silly as fuck because she goes back in there and then he's like, well, that's not what I meant. Like, I really am into you. And that's when she's like, okay, again, if you're going to say that you're all about me, you need to show that to me. And you need to show that to me by being exclusive with me. He gets in a pod with Kia. He sent her a present, all this shit. So when Kia
he did Tyler a present?
girl.
Okay, wrap this shit the fuck up.
Oh, when Kia comes back in the women's area with her present, Tyler's like, see, no, fuck this. So she goes back in that room with that man again, tells him again, you have played in my face again. I am done. Goes into the pods with Kia to be like, I'm so excited for us to move forward together to get ready to do his proposal and everything. And she said, well, hold on, before you get through what you have to say, you have shown me so much love. I really appreciate it. However, I'm not falling in love with you. You are not prepared to be in a marriage. What you're not going to do today is fuck over one black girl and then come play in my face and then try to fuck me over. Because like we said last week, lovers and friends, confusion is all the clarity you need. So both of them was like, you know what? You're confused. But what we're not confused about is who I am as an individual. So respectfully, fuck you, fuck off. And so both of them left.
My thing with Love is Blind is obviously y'all talking to the other gender and you can't see them, but they all live together. So I don't understand if y'all are all stuck in one spot, why you think you being slick for one? Because even if the girls that you talk to are not friends, they're in a earshot of the mess. So if a bitch is coming back, I'm gonna hear what she got to say, whether she talking to me or not.
Exactly.
Is he the only black man on the show?
He's mixed, and he doesn't realize that it doesn't matter that he's mixed. The world sees you as black. So yes, there is another black man on there as well who has never dated a woman of color. And then the woman that he chose to propose to, beautiful. She is black and Colombian.
Oh, I thought she was just Hispanic or Latino.
And he looks at her just like she's a slice of bologna.
And she don't even look black. Like for him to be like, oh, this person of color.
Exactly.
Nigga.
Yeah. So I'm like, Devontae, you need therapy, boo boo. Cause
I always feel like Love is Blind could do some tweaks. Like pick from and by tweaks I mean everybody should be able, like during auditions, like so if they have a pool of people and they need to select the final whoever, I think they should make sure that like every single guy is attracted to every single girl, because they still won't know who they're talking to and vice versa. And like, you don't know who's going to get picked. These are the finalists. Do you like everybody on here? Is there anybody, if you just saw them, you would say no? And once they get to yes for every single cast member, I know it would take a while and people would probably still lie, but I'm like, if they can make sure people are at least attracted to each other, then like do that. Cause at least at the very end, you know that whoever walks out is going to be cute to you.
I feel like they have a form of that, but I don't think there's a way to have everybody in the experiment. One, I don't think it'd be the same experiment because then they see the people. And then two, I don't think they all would like all the options. Maybe like, we want to make sure you guys are attracted to at least 30% of the pool. I don't think they're going to be able to get a group of 100% versus 100%.
Exactly.
Especially and try to be diverse and depending on the city, because I feel like the cities that they be in be so fucking random. Weren't they in, like, Minnesota one year or Wisconsin or something? Random.
That's probably before my time. I don't know. I started watching the season that Brett and Tiffany were on there.
Like, I had to stop watching Love Is Blind because I didn't like how they was doing the black people, and it doesn't seem like they do their due diligence, like, with us talking about Tyra and everything, it's like, it's 2026. There's no way y'all got contestants on the show with SA allegations. Like, there's too many background checks and stuff that y'all could be doing to vet these people. They have so many lawsuits from them going off and living together and people getting assaulted and stuff because producers aren't, like, letting them leave, they're putting them in there with people they already said that they feel uncomfortable with, like, it's
What?
bad.
We are one
Mhm.
because I was literally just making that exact same note. And then for the one black guy with dreads and his partner, so they didn't get to go to Mexico. They went to Malibu while the other 6 couples went to Mexico. Now, the interwebs are trying to lead us to believe that after we sat up here and watched the interracial couple talk about how both of them have had issues with the law, that the reason they didn't go to Mexico was due to the budget. And I'm like, okay. I think it's more so along the lines of someone isn't able to get a passport. Okay, y'all just sat here and showed us this whole conversation about both of them having issues with law enforcement, and you expect us to believe y'all ain't got an extra 2,000. It's Mexico. It's not expensive. Come on now.
Not for a Netflix
Wow.
dating show, it's not.
Mm-mm.
So when they come back from being on the honeymoon, they're still gonna follow that couple
Yes.
back in the States? I would have been pissed. I would have just came out and said, like, "Y'all, we could go to Mexico. I got some papers, you know. She loved me though."
The thing is, too, y'all chose Malibu. That's probably fucking more expensive than the all inclusive that you sent the other 6 couples to in Mexico. Be for real.
Malibu is in California.
Arguably, probably one of the most expensive places in California.
Yeah.
On the topic of Love is Blind doing the black people wrong, I would love if we could have a season of just an all black cast.
Never. It would never
I know
happen.
it would never happen, but
Even
I'm
if they
just,
went to the middle of Decatur, Georgia, we ain't never get in. They barely want us on there in the first place.
I know. It would be so great, though. Gosh.
Think that like maybe a lower budget network might do something like that because we have Zeus.
I feel like Ready to Love is kind of like Love is Blind, but it's like Love is Sight. It's like they doing the same shit, but you can see them.
How so?
Like, they basically get a group of people together, man and female, and they have mixers at the beginning where you, like, go up and, like, introduce yourself, and after the mixers, the guys pick one lady to go home and the girls pick a guy to go home. And then every week, they alternate between the guys picking a girl to go home and the girls picking the guy to go home until they get down to, like, 4 or 5 couples. They have to go on dates every week, a certain type of date. Nephew Tommy will give them a certain date they have to do. Like, you have to take out someone that's not your type. You have to introduce the person you like to your best friend. You have to introduce the person you're into or your connections to your ex, to your family. The further it goes, the more serious the dates are. And towards the end, they do a retreat where they go to like a cabin or something for the weekend and they've like played games and stuff like that. And that's kinda when they narrow down their connections, who they are really connected with. And then at the end, the person they end up choosing their best connection, they decide if they wanna stay in a relationship or not. But I wanna say it's similar. It's the closest thing I could think of is, like, the black version. It definitely used to be a lot better than it is now, but
What network does that come on? It sounds like The Perfect Match or similar to The Perfect Match on Netflix.
It's
kind
also
of, but, like, in between them meeting up, they're living their regular lives. So these people are
Oh.
texting, and they have these huddles, basically. So, like, when it's the women's week, they huddle with Nephew Tommy. They talk about who they like, who they don't like, and the reasons why, and they all collectively choose one guy to let go. But in between that, the beginning of the week, he'll be like, "Okay, this week, ladies, you have to take, your connections out to meet your best friends." So during the week, at some point, they'll have that date, but they also can talk and meet up outside of the show. So it gets kinda messy because when they get to those huddles, they'll be like, "Oh, well, he don't text me enough, and the other one talks to me all the time on the phone." And then you hear the next bitch like, "Oh, well, he not talking to you because he's on the phone with me 24/7." So it's like, it's
Mm.
interesting. It's nice
Interesting.
and juicy. I really used to like this other one called Put a Ring on It. Now that was my shit. Y'all ain't never seen that either?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Put a Ring on It was when they would take, like, 4 or 5 couples and sit down with this therapist every week, and throughout the week, they're supposed to go on dates with other people while they're in a relationship. So, like, you see your boyfriend go on a date with some girl that the therapist set him up with, and then the next day, I go on a date with the guy that the therapist set me up with. So you're, like, dating people and then going to therapy, group therapy with the other couples that are dating people, and it's because the whole premise of the show is because someone gave someone an ultimatum of, "We need to get married." So, like, this is our test. If we can make it through all these dates, at the end, we need to decide, are you gonna put a ring on it or not?
So this is like the ultimatum that's also on Netflix. So Netflix be scamming some
Yes,
ideas,
but
huh?
yeah, but Netflix is more so secluded. They do all that stuff within them, but, like, Ready to Love and Put a Ring on It, they're doing it, but then they're also out in the wild. So on
Mhm.
that show, they would find out, like, because 'cause you're supposed to go on the date and that's it, and then, like, you might get sent on a date with a new person or you'll be like, "Oh, I like that person, we can go on another date." But then you find out later on, they're like, you texting the girl you went on the first date with? Why are you texting this bitch? Like,
Mm.
hold on, what are we doing? So, yeah, it gets real juicy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds
I'm like
messy
the
as
the
fuck.
reality TV guru, I can't help it. Speaking of reality TV, Selling Sunset, you know one of Nick Cannon's baby mamas is on there.
Yes, Brie.
I didn't bring that up to talk about her, but I just
Oh,
thought maybe y'all know who she is. But I was scrolling the other day and there's this therapist and she shows up on a bunch of like reality TV shows like Fuckboy Island and stuff when they have like challenges that they have to do with therapists or whatever. And she was interviewing one of his baby mamas, Abby De La Rosa. I don't know who that is, child. But they was talking and the therapist was basically telling her that she was in a poly relationship with Nick Cannon. And I've never heard that a term before, but apparently it means that one person is monogamous and the other person is polyamorous. So it's like one person can be with other people, but the other person cannot. So that's what she's in with Nick Cannon, and she agreed to it. She knew what she was signing up for, and she likes it, is what she was talking about. She was like, he doesn't like to share. He does not like to share. And so that's when the therapist was like, "Okay, so you are monogamous, but he's not." She's like, "Yeah." And I like it that way. I just love my life. I wouldn't have it any other way.
so you can't give communal pussy, but he can give communal dick, and
Yes.
you
And
are okay with that.
apparently he makes it very clear in the beginning. So it's like if you with it, you with it. If you're not, you're not. And if you're like, well, if you want to fuck other people, I want to fuck other people, then he just won't be in a relationship with you. He'll just co-parent with you.
So, two things here.
Mhm.
From one perspective, a man who knows what he wants and he's being upfront instead of doing all this shit behind bitches' backs. Can respect that. Second thing, we need to tap into why you are that controlling. Because the fact that you just want to have a bunch of bitches that are loyal to you, but you're not loyal to any of them, but because you let it be known at the beginning that you're not loyal to them, it shouldn't be an issue. There are some layers to that that really need to be unpacked in somebody's therapy chair. And what are we going to tell
And
these
not just
kids?
his.
What do you mean, and not just his?
She need a little therapy too,
Oh,
because I feel like anybody that signs up for that is like, where is the self-esteem?
right.
I'm not it's giving like, I got pregnant by this famous guy. I'm not gonna find nobody else that's got more money than him, so I might as well just play it cool, let him take care of me and just do what he say versus really trying to go out there and find another nigga.
Do you all believe that all people are built for monogamy?
Maybe at a time.
What do you mean?
Like,
I
even
get
though
what you're
you'll
saying.
date, because monogamous is like referring to like the time, like you date one person, but like that you could date one person while you're a teenager, while you're a young adult, while you're like one person at a time. It doesn't have to be the same person, but like,
Yeah, I
yeah,
just mean you should be with one person at a time, not the same person, but
Okay.
like one person. I guess is it unnatural, quote unquote, to only be with one partner at a time?
I don't
Mm.
know, honestly.
I don't know if I could say unnatural, because I feel like when you think about it, I'm not too versed in my Bible, but I do know Adam came and then Eve came and he made Eve from Adam's ribs. So I mean, Adam don't have too many ribs to use to make no other bitches. Excuse me, Lord. But I mean, Adam was there with Eve, not Eve, Keisha, Letitia, and Pam. So if we look at it through that lens, yeah, I think we should probably stick to one person. Now, hey, who that person, what that person is, what that person is into, that's up to you. But I think since we're not able to access 100% of our brain, I don't think we really have the capacity to be vulnerable and open and trusting to that level with so many people.
I do feel like I hear mostly men talk about how, it's not natural for you to only be with one person at a time and da 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 da.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
not natural for us to be alone. We're built as humans to be around people, to nurture and build and have community, not community debt. I
and
think that's
that's,
where it got confused.
yeah, that's exactly it.
because men don't like to rely on community for those other emotional needs. Multiple women take the brunt of all of it.
Mhm. And then it goes back to not to pick on Nick, because there's other niggas with hella kids out there. How are you like? Obviously, you got money, but you don't have time to spread out with that many kids in that many different locations evenly to where they all get the same type of care, love, and nurturing. So if you apply that from your kids to your partners, the same thing goes for that. And I think what was that Kay that you said that each person is giving you something different because you don't want to take the time to build up all of those things with one person. You rather just go and be like, oh, I can get this from that person. I can get that from that person. Because you don't know how to have some sort of like vulnerability. That's what it is. Niggas don't like to be vulnerable. They too scared of getting hurt. So it's like, I might as well spread my shit evenly. So when one drop off, I got all these other people to back up on. Girls do it too. I'm not going to be generalizing. Girls do it too.
However, the loneliness epidemic right now is men, not women.
We lonely by choice, honestly.
You get tired of, even though he's getting all his needs filled, even though it's like spread out, the person receiving one need at a time is unfulfilled because they're not getting everything that they need.
And then to tell me I can't go get the rest of my needs from somebody else, yeah, all right. You gonna have to catch me red-handed, nigga, for real, because Imma have you on a schedule just like you got these kids on a schedule. I need 48 hours in advance notice.
I can't.
It's honestly kind of scary, like to think that he approaches those relationships that way, because that's a whole nother level of control that he's seeking. Like, you want to
But
go out here and have multiple partners, multiple babies, multiple baby mamas? Cool. But like, then to say that I can't, that's insane.
also don't feel bad for them women because they agreed. Y'all
Sure
weren't
did.
hypnotized. Y'all are a grown ass woman and y'all know what this nigga be up to. So y'all really not getting no sympathy from me. I'm
For
sorry.
sure. For sure.
The only one I feel bad for is Mariah.
Yeah. Do y'all really think that all of them agreed to it? Like, do y'all think that none of them are messing with at least one more person, like additionally?
For sure. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
No.
I was like, there's no way.
They putting on a good front for him. Like, I got you, master. As long as you pay them bills, he gonna be in the back.
Hell, and if I had to argue, I'd say Brie would be one of them. I can't see her being like, okay, yeah, you go fuck whoever you want, and I'm just gonna chill here in the valley. Cannot see that at all.
She seems delusional to me because she
Oh.
made it seem like on the show she made it seem like I'm main bitch and he don't really be messing with them like that because we're together, and it's
It
not
is.
giving that.
You're right. You're right.
It's like they in competition. That Christmas was crazy, honey.
Even I was
scared to
just
see
scrolling
Easter.
earlier today, and I saw what he did with Brie for Valentine's Day, and I was like, that is.
Just did he only do one thing for one person?
I don't know.
I need him to link his bitches to his pages. Like, I need to be able to go to the harem and figure out what everybody's doing.
And that's the thing. Outside of Brie and Mariah, I can't tell you who any of his other baby mamas are. So, like, I don't even know how to go, like, try to access what he was doing with other people on those days.
The caption literally has to say Nick Cannon's baby mama, one of them, for me to be like, oh, okay.
And you know what? I wonder how Mariah feels. Like, is she so fucking because were they actually married?
Yes, child. They was married.
And how do we think? Because obviously he wasn't doing this with Mariah. Like, she wasn't going for this shit.
Did you not see? Is the girl's name Morocco? Or is that the boy's name?
Oh, I don't know.
The twins.
Oh.
The little girl made a post and she was like, yeah, she was like, guys, I only have one brother. Yes, I have other siblings, but I only have one brother. And she posted like on her story.
Damn. Yeah, I just wonder what Mariah, like, is she like, what the fuck? How? Why?
She probably wants to stay as far away from this foolishness as possible. She probably want people to be like, Mariah Carey's Nick Cannon's baby mama? Ex-wife. Get it right.
First in
Thanks.
line over here, ho.
Literally.
Wild.
Whew.
Okay, my last question, Miranda, is there an update on Tia and her husband?
They haven't got to that part of the reunion yet, so
Okay.
fingers crossed.
Stay tuned, lovers and friends. Stay tuned.
Well, that was a good reality check-in because it's a lot going on. But let's go ahead and go down Lover's Lane, which is the art of romance. The art of romance, or lack thereof.
Honey.
Maybe we need a definition because I feel like niggas get confused when women say we want a little romance. And that don't mean flowers. Please don't give me no flowers. I'm sorry. What am I gonna do with some flowers? They gonna die after a couple days. It's the
Wait.
thought that counts.
I was gonna say you don't like flowers. I like flowers. It's a little basic.
I feel like flowers is like a random, like, I got these for you, or like, we're going on the first date, I brought you some flowers. It's your birthday, here's some flowers. But for that to be the main thing, the celebration is flowers, no.
It's like those videos where they were asking dudes like bare minimum or princess treatment. So you're saying
Yeah.
flowers is bare minimum. I
Yeah.
could agree with that.
It's like niggas don't know how to be whimsy no more, you know? We want a little whimsy to our lives, please. And being
So,
romantic don't mean rose petals to the bed, sir. That's foreplay. It's different.
okay, so a jacuzzi is party time. Rose petals are foreplay. ULG Taylor Ray.
Just saying. I need a little bit more like
Because
thought into it.
I also love rose petals. Am I basic? Did you just call me basic?
No. Everybody got their thing. I guess my thing is just weird. Maybe now I'm realizing why niggas single. I don't like shit.
Okay, so the definition of romance, based on what Google has to say, is the expressive emotional attraction and courtship behavior between people characterized by feelings of love, passion, and intimacy. It involves intentional actions, such as dating, thoughtful gestures, and deep connection, designed to foster a romantic bond.
I'd say flowers, thoughtful gesture. That's where that would land for me.
Okay.
Thoughtful gesture, not the main event. I'm sorry.
Okay, so over the weekend, I went to Oklahoma to visit one of my childhood friends. This guy who she is not dating sent her 6 dozen roses.
Now that's different. I'm talking about a bouquet from Kroger. We talking about 6 dozens. Hold on, you can spend some money on that player because 1 dozen is a lot. We cooking with grease now.
And I was like, "Are you dating this man?" She said, "No."
We're talking courtship. I guess it's different.
It's different. Okay.
Where does she know him from?
I think they just met through some like mutual friends, maybe, and he likes her clearly.
It's definitely an attention getter. You got my attention. Hey, what's going on?
6 dozen roses. So if we're courting and we're giving flowers, is that princess treatment? If we're courting,
I say princess treatment, but I would
Okay.
see it as romantic if it's somebody that's not my man.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people see that as the bare minimum though, because I've seen a lot of people be like, my man gets me flowers every week. I don't never have any, like, not have any flowers in my vase. And every
And
Monday he comes in here with a bouquet. And I'm like, that is so, people be in love, man. They be in love.
shout out to Jocelyn. Her husband does the same thing. I don't think he does it weekly, but I think every month he brings her flowers.
I think for me, for something to be romantic, there has to be thought and intention, like you said in the definition from Google. Like maybe that's where I was getting that from with the flowers, because I feel like sometimes it can just be like a, how do I put this? Kind of like you're checking a box instead of like you're doing it to actually do it, you know?
I don't know that there have ever been very many things done for me that I feel like are like super romantic. There are things that, like you're saying, that I feel like are very thoughtful. But even with this definition of romance, I'm like, what would I consider to be something really romantic? Or not even really romantic. What is something I would consider to be just romantic? And I don't know.
It's sad because I feel like now, okay, let's get into this. Because what I really want to do is break this down into generations. The ladies used to swoon. We used to swoon. We used to have reasons to swoon back in the day. Like our grandparents and like the Temptations, they was singing the girls on the damn corner. Like like serenade, okay? I had to come pick you up from your house. I had to introduce myself to your family. Had to show up with some flowers. Had to drive you to the venue, open the door, be chivalrous. That was a given back then. It wasn't no thinking about it. "Oh, I'm only doing that for this girl." Every girl you wanted to court had to. Then, it moved up and it's like, you can't just be honking the horn. You got to come to the door and get me from the house. I felt like we've lost. The more we get to today, the less we have with romance. The people ain't teaching the recipes. Back then, it was easier back then to get away with multiple families. They could have been serenading the whole damn neighborhood. But they was gonna make sure you felt it in your spirit, in your heart. I don't know, it's like the niggas want us to earn their courtship. Like, I don't understand it. It's like, how are we going to get to being in a relationship if we don't do the work to get to the relationship? It's like niggas wanna go from "I like you" to "we together," but there's no work to being together.
Yeah, I would think that men have always had some fear of rejection, but I feel like now it is to the point where it's paralyzing, Like just the sheer thought of being rejected, they would just rather not even try. And then I also feel like this speaks to a lot of their character because when you think about the traits that we can only speak for us in this circle right here, are looking for: someone who is persistent, someone who is consistent, someone who is resilient. If those are not your character traits, I don't see you courting anyone, right? Because it's almost like, well, for what? I'm not consistent with anything in my life enough to be consistent enough to court you. I'm not resilient enough about anything in my life to be resilient enough to court you. So I just feel like men have kind of gotten lazy. But also, are we at fault?
I didn't even think about it, but no, we ain't at fault.
But do we give men too much too soon? And so we've created this narrative that like you don't have to work that hard for us to be interested.
I've kind of seen that topic addressed on like some like extreme pages that I follow on Instagram. But I mean, basically the answer was yes. Like, why are women making it so easy for men? And I honestly don't know how I feel about it, but I do think that to me, it all kind of still boils down to vetting people better. Because if you're not afraid of rejection and you're looking for something more casual, then why would you pursue something with women who are not? And then playing with their minds or just like switching up midway. Like, I feel like whatever you subscribe to as far as like how you want to pursue or be pursued, as long as you're like dating within the category of people that are on the same page as you. Because I mean, I can't tell a woman that, well, just because you want to have casual sex, then that means you're ruining it for everybody else. We don't know why she doesn't want a relationship. Everybody's different.
But I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
different from people who are pick-me's. I think that the pick-me's, like, go a little bit more towards what Jalen was saying. Those are the bitches that make it more difficult for us.
Regardless of what somebody is doing to pursue them, whether it's a lot or nothing, they're just going to take what they can get from whoever.
Also feel like the goals are different now. Like, back in the day, it was like family, family, family. So it was like straight out of high school, sometimes in high school. I mean, a whole bunch of people back then married their high school sweetheart, And it's like now I just seen a post the other day that said 50% of the women in Arizona are single because, like, what are we really working towards? Why am I in a relationship if there's not a goal? It's different if I was in my 20s and I was dating for experience, but I'm in my 30s. I'm dating to find a husband. And if you're not trying to be a husband, why are you in my face? I'm confused.
Do y'all think that that's also changed because of like economics? Because especially when the goal was like family, 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 it's like, yeah, women needed somebody to take care of them. If they weren't really able to work or if they were able to work, they were limited to the type of professions, a nurse, a teacher, you know what I mean? Now that, we're past that in society, like women can be whatever they want and have proven over and over and over again to outdo men academically, professionally, time and time again. And then you deal with like, oh, men feeling emasculated. Like how are they going to make a family if she's like super accomplished and he's not, but he's still expected to be the breadwinner. But she has this amazing career where she's using her mind and her ideas and like making real change in the world. I don't know. There's so many nuances now. That's why I always be like, find what you're looking for and leave everybody else out of it.
Yeah, I think that's something super important, like the fact that we needed someone in the past. So it's like, even though the family unit was definitely more celebrated, more exalted, we had a lot of representation of that. It's like, was that truly representative of what a family unit was actually like, the dynamics inside the family unit? Because now that women don't have to rely on a man, we would like to have a man in our life. Our primary needs are not the main reason why we're looking for partners. We're not looking just for safety. We're not looking just for financial stability. We're not looking just for you to be the leader of the household. Like, now we're having to take the next step. Like, what goes beyond our basic needs to just survive? Are you able to meet my next level of need? And because we have gotten to a place where we do have more access to education. We do have more access to higher paying jobs and all that good stuff. We've had to evolve so much, but it's almost like men haven't had to evolve. And so they're still stuck in that mentality of like, well, me just being a man should be enough. And it's like, no, 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 no. We need more than just the physical being.
I also feel like men don't have a lot of examples of what it is to be like the ideal husband for real. Cause I'm sitting here trying to think of one, and it's like the people that people used to name, like Bill Cosby from the the Huxtables, like other than TV, like in real life examples. Like, did you have somebody showing love to your mom to show you how to love the next person you want to love?
You're right. And I'm sitting here thinking about back to your point about like how we've evolved over a generation. When have women not ever taken care of the kids, taken home care of the house? Like the role of women has not changed consistently throughout history. The role of men has, especially because, like you got the crack epidemic where like there were no like two parent households, like especially like in our community. So it's like men were taken out, then they try to reacclimate and like there's still like so much residue left from that. But it's like, when have women not held it down throughout history? Never. Even though, despite being more educated now and, having more accessibilities and freedoms and stuff like that, when women were considered property, like it didn't change anything. But like men have changed so much in the eyes of society. And like, I don't know if women ever have.
No, we keep trying to tell white women that, but they ain't hearing it.
Let me not even say nothing because I can speak on it. But
So over the weekend when I went to go visit my friend, we talked about relationships a lot. Her parents were also in town for the weekend. And I was joking with her because her dad, he's amazing. I said, Lex, you're going to have reverse daddy issues. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen those videos of the chicks who are like, what do you mean you wouldn't drive 8 hours to help me move into my new spot? My dad would. What do you mean you wouldn't pay my light bill without me asking? My dad would. And so, like, that's very much her dad. So we were saying that the entire weekend. And so at one point I asked her dad, I was like, what do you think is the issue with younger generations of men? And I also didn't realize that her parents are as old as they are, so they're technically boomers. His response was, I don't know, I'm too far removed from that. And I said, ding, ding, ding. That's the problem. Even millennial, hell, even some Gen X people who were raised by boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, definitely Gen Alpha. However, I've heard that like these Gen Alphas are like coming in as some little lover boys, and I love that for them. But the generation of men that we deal with are so far removed from, as we said, having like an actual example of what it is to be a man who's leading a family in the way that, I know we've said this a lot, in the way that God would intend for the family unit to work. And as a result, we're just dealing with a lot of fractures.
And you know what? That speaks so much to her dad's character, because how many old men would be like, I don't know. Like, I can admit that I don't know because I'm not around them. I don't know patterns. Because every older black man is always like, well, I'm sorry, I don't know if they're black or not, but a lot of older men, like, well, the problem with this generation is, like, they love to be able to point things out that they feel is wrong with younger generations in comparison to theirs. And it's like, we weren't around. We have to take their word for it. Back in my day, I used to do this and do that. Sure. But somebody admitting like, oh, I just don't know because I'm not around that just says a lot about her dad, because I don't know any older men who would have said that. True.
Yeah, she's got the greatest parents. They're so awesome. So also while I was there, we went out. Lex had a game on Valentine's Day. We went out to dinner after the game, y'all. When I tell y'all, well, hold on. Let me see what y'all's reactions are if we think this is romance or not, because y'all know how I like to romanticize things. There was black man came in dressed in a suit, little black boy also dressed in a suit. They had those flowers, from Beauty and the Beast that are in that little thing and you turn the light on and the petals are falling off or whatever. They had 2 of those and they both had 2 roses. The dad brought a table runner. They asked the waiters to bring over some candles. Some time goes by, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and walks his wife and their daughter. And they're dressed up in their dresses. The daughter has on this really cute dress with some tights and high heels. And so the husband goes over to greet the mom with her rose, and the little brother goes over to greet the little sister with her rose. And that was their Valentine's Day dinner. What do we think about that?
Are these random people or your friends?
Random people.
Oh, okay.
Yep, just a random black couple behind us, or black family.
While y'all were out.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to see people in love. I'm not gonna be a hater, but if I saw that, I would have been like, "That's cute."
It's very well thought out. That to me, like we said, it's intentional and well thought out. That's what makes it romantic because, like, if they're at the restaurant, like, obviously they weren't sitting in the car, you know what I mean? Like, waiting for all that to happen. The arrangements had to be made, garments had to be purchased, you know, waiters had to be pulled to the side, supplies had to be pulled out for them to put the candles down. He bought a table runner, so he went to Hobby Lobby. That is so right. But also, not only did he do it, and then, like, I mean, he could have got a babysitter for his kids and just spend the time on his wife. But no, he's modeling what romance is to his wife. And his, so that his daughter knows how to be treated. The son knows how to treat him. There's so many layers to that.
All of that, so many layers. I was like, this moment is so fucking beautiful. His dad walked over to him and was like, gave him a handshake. I didn't hear what he said to him. And then Lex was like, Dad, are you serious? I said, Black men that's the type of validation that Black men need from other Black men. So they know we see you. That right there is how you cater to your woman. And like Kayla just said, you are setting the best example for your son. And the best example for your daughter, because that little girl, she gonna have them reverse daddy issues too. What you mean you ain't make us a reservation for Valentine's Day and you didn't bring me a flower and you didn't decorate my table? My brother would. I was like, that right there is so beautiful. And the fact that they were Black, because we were in a room full of white people. So the fact that they were also Black, his wife walked in and she said, you always somewhere making me want to cry. And I was like,
oh my God, I'm crying.
These people also were not that old. They looked, well, granted, they Black, so who knows how old they were. But if I were guessing, I would say like no older than mid-40s, and that's at the very max. So yeah, it was just so beautiful, and I was like, the intention for all of that.
Thank you. That's why I was trying to explain to my friend for over Valentine's Day. Was like, we don't really, well, I'm not going to speak for everybody. Let me not generalize. I don't really care about some like extravagant gifts. Like, I want something that you actually thought about and like there was purpose behind why you gave me that or why you did that. Like, anybody can bring you some chocolate and take you to dinner. Like, anybody can do that. Not saying it's not special, but it's like, did you take me to a place that I like? Did we go to a place that serves food that I like to eat? Like, I think that's what's missing is the thoughtfulness now, the intention. And it's not the intention to get in my pants. That's not romantic.
And you know what? I will shout out my dad again. I think I shouted him out last. Look at you, Dad, making it on the pod 2 times, nigga. He is an unexpected lover boy. As much as he is a player, he is an unexpected lover boy, because that is one thing that I can celebrate about him is that when he is into you, it might be multiples of you at a time, but when he is into you, he is so intentional about how he shows up and how he celebrates you. And one of the things, like, as we've been working on our relationship, one of the things that he shared with me is that it bothers him that no woman is as intentional with him as he is with them. He was like, the last time, like, I asked him last year, I think, like, oh, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? He's like, I ain't celebrated Valentine's Day since your mom. And I was like, Dad. And like, he told me, and the fact that he can still remember this because the time in which they dated was eons ago. And he said that my mom rented them a limo to take them to dinner. And I can't remember what else they did. And he was like, since then, no woman has ever done that for me. And I was like, Dad, that's so sad. And of course he was saying it in jest, but I think a lot of truth is said in jest. So I was like, That's so sad. And I hope somebody does reciprocate because he really does do a good job at that for the women in his life. So that's dope. I will also have to shout out my most recent Valentine's Day experience. My ex did not like Valentine's Day, but I love anything where I get to make people feel special. And so I think eventually he came around to it. But like this last Valentine's Day, he bought us tickets to go to a Harry Potter exhibit on Valentine's Day. Y'all, I don't know who needs to hear this. I love Harry Potter. I watch that shit almost every night to go to sleep. I actually start at the 4th movie because that's where I feel like it's getting real, And by the time I wake up in the morning, it's usually on part 2 of number 7. So I love Harry Potter. Loved that experience. Now, I ended up getting sick and we couldn't go to the exhibit and I didn't know that was the plans. So he went out and got a bunch of rose petals and made us like a little at-home picnic, and we watched Harry Potter because I had asked him for the longest time to watch all of the Harry Potters with me, and so he sat and watched all the Harry Potters with me. And I was like you said, we don't have to go to Fogo de Chao and spend $500 on a meal, but I love Harry Potter, so let's watch Harry Potter,
It beats getting a text at like 7 p.m., Just the thought of anything is great.
And I feel like what Jay just described was like, that to me is the perfect answer to people who are constantly online talking about is a coffee date for a first date appropriate? I'm like, first of all, what does she say she likes to do? Like if she was like, oh, I love coffee, like me, every country that I've been to, I've bought coffee and chocolate from there because those are 2 things that I really like. So, for somebody like me, that might be a good first date. If I share that with you and you're intentionally listening and then being intentional about retaining the information and then executing that while you're pursuing me. So like you just said, like you were just kind of on the fence about flowers. You might not like flowers. You know what I mean? So on a first date, like, yeah, so it's just, y'all explained it perfectly, I think.
Yeah, De La Rey might want to go to the jacuzzi. Take my girl to the jacuzzi to turn up.
My thing is like, I would like to, be romantic towards my partner, but it's only gonna go to an extent if it's not getting reciprocated. Like I'm not about to just keep doing these things for you and you're not giving me nothing back. The least you could do is have a thought. Start with that. I'm sorry. A thought. Yeah. And more than flowers. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be flowers and something else with it, not just flowers.
I get it because I feel like my dad, I like to be very intentional when I'm gifting people stuff. And I don't necessarily like receiving gifts. Also, probably something I need to work on in therapy, but I love to give a gift. Love it. It just makes me so excited. So I'm in the same boat. Like I want to be in a position where like I shower someone with love, with all of the love. And also like very important part is that it has to be reciprocated because then if not, like for people like me, like all of us, we can run into people who are just takers. And then at some point we keep thinking like we keep giving, 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 and then they're just taking, 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 taking. And then when you finally are able to take a step back, you're like, well, now wait a minute.
How dare you?
And that's why I'm not in that boat with y'all. I'm sorry. Like y'all in the boat together and that's fine. But like I'm in the boat of I'm not ready. I'm not there yet. Because I'd be damned if I do that again.
Okay, that goes back to what you said about vetting and what we've talked about as it comes to discernment. And like, we can't do that for everybody, no matter how eager we are to do it, no matter how much we enjoy doing it, how much joy it brings us. We have to determine who are the people who are deserving of that type of treatment. And that's going to start with their pursuit of us.
And then it's like, there also are people who will be romantic towards you and do all those special things that are thoughtful, but won't have any intention behind it. The romance, it has to be thoughtful and intentional. That's 2 different things. I've had someone do a lot of thoughtful things for me, but I know from the other actions that they've made that it's not intentional. You're just doing that for that moment. And that's also not something I think that I want.
I used to feel like I was crazy for like being like, thank you, but also trying to like vocalize what I actually wanted. Because when I was dating somebody before, I was in Florida with him for my birthday and I told him exactly what I wanted to do for my birthday. Like, this is exactly what I want to do. We did everything but that. Like, went out, dinner, went to the beach, like it was a great trip overall. But like at that time I felt so conflicted because I'm like, should I just be grateful? But I was like, before I came down there, when I communicated the whole time, this is all I want. If we do this, I don't care what else we do. and the one thing could have happened, but it did not. And I was just like, I hate when I not listened to, because I felt like it was clear. It wasn't no read between the lines. It wasn't no pick up on my mood. It was, this is what I want. 1,000,000%. And I felt bad. Like, well, he made me feel bad. If I didn't feel bad at first, I definitely did after he said something about it.
And I feel like I always look to you when I know it's time to cut a nigga off. I'm like, what would Kayla do? She wouldn't be
Man.
having this shit. Let this nigga go. Because I don't know if y'all follow Ruth Dalia on Instagram, but she's been basically doing this content where she does like makeup. So while she's doing her makeup, she'll do story times of like these dates she's going on or these guys she's talking to. And like at one point, she kept talking about this pilot that she was dating and was talking about how she's like in love and she's obsessed with him and she's like staying over at his house and all the stuff. And they just met. And then like a week later, she made a post about how she had to cut that nigga off. And everybody was like, girl, you was just acting like y'all was finna get married. Like, why'd you cut him off? And blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I didn't like the way he communicated. It didn't work for me. That's not how I want to be talked to. So I let him know and cut it close. She was like, I know that's not what I want my husband to talk to me like. So I had to go ahead and let him know. I don't care how good the dick was. I was
2
like,
things
you know
can be
what?
like, yeah, I was in love, and now I'm not. Next, like, that's what it gave.
And I don't know
Lit-
if I saw that chick that you're talking about, but I did just see a video like that recently. And she was talking about how she was going out on a date and it was with a guy who like was joking, but like she didn't like the way that he was joking. And so she told him like, hey, I'm not comfortable with you joking that way. And his response was like, why? I'm just kidding. Like, if you know it's a joke, it shouldn't matter.
I think
So
it's the same girl.
she cuts him off. Then she finds another guy who, similar situation. She tells him again, like, hey, I don't like you joking that way. And he was like, okay, I can find a million different ways to make you laugh.
I saw
And I
that.
was like, yep, that's it
Yeah.
right there, honey.
I was like, this is who I need to be following. This is what I need on my FYP. Like, remind me to put these niggas in check. You feel me? Well, so, Kay, do you not feel like you're romantic then? Like, when you're in a relationship, do you feel like you're romantic?
I will say I feel like I've gotten better because sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. Yeah, and also I think in the last relationship I learned from watching him, like just with how intentional he was, like things that I wouldn't even think he would remember. He did, or like, found a way to like make it special or incorporate it. And so it just motivated me to want to like learn how to do it. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
He fed into you and made you want to do it, like reciprocated back.
Yeah. He modeled it versus
That's
being like, well, why don't you do this for me? I do all this for you. Like, it wasn't anything like that, thankfully. But I also don't date people like that. I mean, it's kind of normal over here.
yeah.
Yeah, it was helpful, because some people, especially like you said, at this age, some people can feel like, oh, you should already know this by now, or you should know how to do this, or you should blah, 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 blah. But like, that's just not the case for everybody.
I agree.
And it doesn't mean they're not like worth pursuing or dating or being with.
What is simping? I've heard that, but I don't know exactly what that
It's
means.
like, how did I explain this? That's why I ain't put nothing with it, cause it's like hard to. It's like when a guy is being a lover boy, guys will say he's simping. It's like, you made this post about this girl, you let her put her face on a T-shirt, and you just be simping. Like you being soft, basically.
So basically, the person who incels have it deemed the poster child for simping is Russell Wilson, and they think he's simping because he respects his wife. He accepted her son like his own and treats him better than his own father. And to them, they're just like, ain't no other man raising my kids, and they don't even raise their own. So they have deemed Russell Wilson as a simp, even though he has a beautiful black family, successful career. His wife also has a successful career, beautiful kids. They look clean. They never look crusty. You know what I mean?
That makes me think of this video that I saw earlier today, and I was like, baby, you hit it with that one. She said boys weren't raised to be men, they were raised to be anti-girl. So she said anything associated with being somewhat close to feminine or female or quote unquote soft. They were just raised to be the anti of that. And that's why we have so many niggas out here calling Russell Wilson a simp. And it's like, no, you guys, that's what you all should be aspiring to be. You're hating on it, but at the same time, sitting here talking about bitches ain't this, bitches ain't that, da 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 da. That's why there's a male loneliness epidemic, because more of you won't subscribe to what Russell Wilson is doing.
And you know where I have a theory about it. It's not an original theory by any means, but let me know if y'all agree or not. I think it stems from homophobia. And especially like if you were raised in a household with only a woman, so you're not necessarily used to seeing a man up close, like mannerisms that are perfectly normal, and you're not used to seeing that. And so like, let's say you have a son and then he starts doing things that you only saw your mama do or only that you did. Stop, that's gay. Boys don't do that. That's for girls. And now they have, that's anti-girl to me. You have that mindset of like, oh, only girls do this, only girls wear this, only girls are supposed to like this. And then we have these individuals who are not well-rounded in the least.
Russell Wilson was the perfect example of what niggas would call a simp, because they use it as a negative word, because it's usually for people who are like overly affectionate and going for somebody who clearly doesn't like them for real, is just using them or something.
Yeah.
They'll be like, you simping.
What being a girl means often means being nurturing, being a caretaker, being a good listener, being sympathetic, empathetic, being crying.
That's how many little boys get told, stop crying, man up. And he's 4 and he has an open wound on his shin. Like, he can cry. It's fine.
Literally bones
like,
sticking out of his flesh, and they're like, suck it up.
Some people won't even tell their boys they love them. Like, that's how homophobic people will be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy.
One of my friends had a boyfriend once who told me that he doesn't eat hot dogs or eat ice cream from a cone because of the implication of it making you look gay. And I was like, the fuck? I was like, that, y'all need to work that shit out, because that, to not eat a hot dog?
He does it. He just don't do it in public.
Yeah.
And maybe
they'll
that's
cut it
what
up
it
in
is.
pieces and eat it. I'm not going to say names, but I know someone who, I'm not going to say they're homophobic, but I think the fear of people assuming or thinking that they are queer because of what they're doing stop them from doing something that they like to do. So like a lot of male models won't want to do a runway show or a fashion show because, you know, there's trans people, there's guys that are walking in heels, stuff like that. And they think, oh, if I'm doing it with them, then they're going to think we all like the same thing. And it's like brands need men who act masculine to wear their clothing. So it's like, just because you're doing an activity, that doesn't make you gay.
A lot of people are taught that, you know. I grew up in church. I know what it is. I ain't even got to get into it. And then when you see somebody who you consider not the norm based on what you were taught and based on what was modeled, you don't know how to process that. Your mind immediately goes into putting them into that box. Like, that's all they are, not the fact that, like, they grocery shop just like you. They go to work every day. Just like you don't see the humanness first, which is what other people automatically get, you know, like no hesitation, no questions asked if they are straight presenting.
Well, that was a lot, y'all. We
Was.
got into a lot of things. It was needed though.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the lover girl lesson for this week is going to be someone else's inconsistency is not a measure of your worth.
We are all deserving of all of the romance that we desire. If you don't desire romance at all, cool. For those of you who do desire it tenfold, like, you are worthy of that regardless of how someone is or is not showing up.
And hold out for it until you get it. You don't have to change your standards just to keep somebody.
Right. Anyone who tries to make you feel like you have to compromise your desires isn't meant for you. So let them walk away.
Yes. Snap. So I know last time we talked, maybe not last time, the time before, we talked about our second solo date, which was the spa day. Did we all get that done?
Yes.
Yes. Did we enjoy the things?
You know, I think I should have chose a different massage than what I chose. I say it because A, I wanted my full body rubbed, and I got an Ayurvedic massage. So they just dripped oil on my head for the first 30 minutes, and then it seeped into my locks, which, I'm really not supposed to put anything in my hair right now, but I was like, fuck, too late for that. So like my hair is so heavy with oil right now. But in addition to that, next 30 minutes, they only massaged my neck and shoulders and my head, which was nice. It felt good, but I was like, damn, I really wanted my back and my legs rubbed.
Did they not explain to you what the massage was?
Well, I got one when I was in Boston and it wasn't like
Mhm.
that. So their description didn't like signify any type of difference from what I had previously experienced. So I was not expecting that at all.
Did any drip in your eyes? Like,
No. So I was laying on the bed like on my back and I was tilted back a little bit. So my head was like kind of at a
oh,
decline.
ain't no way. When you say Ayurvedic, have y'all seen Last Holiday with Queen Latifah?
Yeah.
And she goes, and that lady's trying to massage, and she's smacking her with them branches. That's exactly what I thought of. I was like, I know you ain't finna tell us no shit like that. I really did.
Oh my God, she's gonna get wrapped up in some seaweed or
Seaweed.
something. Fuck.
I did a home spa day just because I have so many products to like make that happen. First, I just did like a house deep clean, also to get ready for like Lunar New Year, because that's what I was like, look, January 1st, y'all can have it. So I did like a deep clean, and then I just basically used all the products I had, like a face mask, bath bombs, had like some bath soak. I just did all that, and it was really nice. I listened to a little bit of an audiobook, and yeah, I had a great time.
Nice.
It's nice to just like calm down and not really have to worry about something, just relax. I always got me a massage. My boy Ernesto, I go to the same person every time. He got something in them fingers. Something in them fingers is working for me. I told him to, concentrate on my shoulders. My thing is Ernesto be getting me so good with the massage, I be having to hype myself up in silence to, like, stay awake. I'm like, "Bitch, you can't fall asleep. What's the point of getting a massage if you sleep?" Because I fell asleep the first time he gave me a massage, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I need him every time." Every time right there. But I do have to, like, pump myself up in my head like, "Ooh, yeah, that feels good." But I be doing that in my head, and I'm like, "I hope I don't accidentally say that out loud one day." Like, "Ooh, yeah, Ernesto."
Listen, I just saw a TikTok where it was like when you at home talking to yourself and then some audio accidentally comes out and like you say a piece out loud.
No, literally. That's why I had to, like, really watch what I'm saying in my head when he do that stuff, because I'm like, "He gonna report me. I ain't gonna be able to get another massage." Literally. And then I got a facial too. I didn't get to do it with my homeboy because I found a good person last time. Cause they wasn't answering the phone. And like I go to Massage Envy and like you can't there's no way for you to tell how many credits you have. Like I can't go online and look it up. It doesn't show on the app. I have to call them and ask them. And they weren't answering the phone because I was trying to book back to back and get my massage done and then my facial. So I went the next day and got a facial. She was really nice. I do appreciate it when they don't talk too much during my facial because, like, the first little couple minutes, you try to ask me questions about my face and stuff and a little bit about me. But after that, like, girl, I'm trying to relax. And you touching my face, like, I'm talking, like, pipe down just a little bit for me. I don't want none of this shit in my mouth. Like, I did fall asleep at the end of that. Ooh, glorious. I love it. Drew's actually the one that got me going to facials. She told me about it one time, and I was like, "You be going to facials?" She was like, "Yeah, you need to be getting facials." And I got one, and I was like, "That was like a face massage." I was like, "Oh, I like that." And when I get my makeup done, I always fall asleep. But yeah, okay, period. Well, next time I'll wait for us to announce our next solo date that we're doing. By the time this comes out, my new website will be launched. It's been a long time coming, honey, but she is up and running.
Let's
So
go.
if you are in the Arizona area or if you pay in travel, go ahead and hit my link. Photographer, model, creative director, content creator, and more. All the things. Hit me up. Thank you. And then the last thing I'm gonna say is I was listening to some of our other episodes and a man once said future wifey. So I'm going to say dear future husband. When it is time for you to propose, do not put my ring in no motherfucking food. And that is being said with the utmost respect. And it's gonna help you out. It's gonna help me out.
I'm
'Cause if I
sorry.
break a molar,
Why do we have to make this PSA? Where did we see this? This was in real life?
oh, I seen somebody on TikTok eat something and they were like, "Oh, what's in my mouth? What is that?" And they pulled it out. It was a ring. That's not cute. That's
Mm.
not romantic. Stop it. Why is my ring in the middle of a cupcake? It's dirty as hell. I need my shit bling blinging, dancing, dirty dancing. Diamonds on me dancing. Like, don't put my ring in no food.
Right. It's gonna have like icing caked in between it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
If you think you being thoughtful, get another thought. And I'm just giving you suggestions.
A
So if
thought.
you're listening right now, write it down, take a mental note, keep it in a pocket. Thank you.
And honestly, that's for anyone looking to propose. Don't do that. Not just De La Rey's future husband. Any man out here trying to propose, any woman trying to propose to your woman, whatever the case may be, do not do that. Don't.
Please don't do it for your man either, because I think it was a same-sex couple that I seen it with. He
Okay,
don't want
yeah.
it either, child.
No.
Don't do it. They don't want it. He don't want it. She don't want it. Stop it.
Bless it. The only other update I have to share is that Solange, if you are unaware, has created a free digital library of books, stories, poetry by Black and brown authors. So if that type of thing interests you, which everyone should be reading, so go download something. It's free.
Black History Month and R.I.P. Jesse Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P.
Okay, you got an update?
No, I'm taking it day by day.
And that is okay. Lord knows. Well, I think we've had a great talk today, ladies. And with that, thank you so much for chatting with us. And we're going to have to put y'all back on D&D. Until next time.